Let's talk about go by state with it, and let's go North Dakota. We signed 6 kids out of North Dakota, which is still the lifeblood of our program, making sure that we get these North Dakota kids to come to NDSU to play football, and we're excited about that. Eric Bachmeyer. Eric is from Kindred High School, or just down the road in Kindred, North Dakota. He was a camp kid for us, and that's going to be kind of an overriding theme that you're going to hear a lot of. A lot of kids that we signed came to our camp either in June or July, so we really got a great first-hand evaluation of a lot of guys, and Eric's one of those guys with it. He's obviously coached by former Bison player Cody Kittleson. He's a 2-time first-team All-State player. Started 4 years at quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, did a little bit of everything. Luke Bacon, big offensive lineman from Granville, North Dakota. Plays at Towner Granville Upham High School. 6'5", 280 pounds, and he was another camp kid that really did a great job at camp. I know we were really impressed with him, watching him as a lineman on either side of the ball with it, and he's a 2-time All-State selection. Stanley Jones from Bismarck High School in Bismarck, North Dakota. Stanley's a 6'4", 215-pound defensive end, and he was a terror in camp. I remember going and watching him in camp when Coach Gazer was going through some drills and stuff, and really active kid. It's fun to watch him on video. Does a lot of great things off the edge with it. 2-time state champ there at Bismarck High, first-team All-State player. From North Dakota, Tanner Volson. Tanner Volson's another camp kid, 6'4", 268-pound offensive lineman from Balfour, North Dakota. Went to Drake High School, and Tanner came to camp and was an exceptional player for us. I remember getting a chance to see him as I was evaluating offense and defensive linemen with it. I was able to watch him practice a little basketball. Really good athlete, very athletic guy that we see that can probably play guard or tackle for us. He was a 4-year starter. We had 7 guys from Minnesota. Minnesota's been a great state for us as well. We've had a lot of, you look at last year's senior class with it, and we had unbelievable kids out of the state of Minnesota, and that's an area that is of a big priority to us. A.G. Ajaya. A.G. is a running back from Spring Lake Park High School, and he came to camp, really long, athletic, very, very fast kid, was a first-team All-State kid, defensive player of the year in his league in the North Suburban Conference. A.G. could play running back, he could play linebacker, he can do a lot of things with his length and with his speed and stuff, and we're going to start off A.G. as a running back position for us. He was a 3-year starter at the wide receiver, running back, linebacker. Kayvon Hawkins, another kid that was a camp kid from Robbinsdale High School in Minnesota with it, and Kayvon's a big wide receiver. He's 6'1", 207 pounds. He was one of the top linebackers we had at camp as well. He and Marlette were. So when we look at Kayvon at 6'1", 207, playing wide receiver, gives us a guy kind of like that Vra capability, real physical guy with tremendous speed. He was a 3-year starter. Greg Menard. Greg Menard's from Lakeville, Minnesota, from Lakeville North High School. Greg tried to attend our camp. He was at our camp, but he had an ankle injury. And he kind of had that ankle bother him a little bit, but he was a first-team All-State performer, and he was a guy that we've been really impressed with. He's been on our campus a number of times with it. He was a 3-year starter. He's played D-line, he's played linebacker, he's played running back, he's played fullback, really athletic guy. Christian Triplett. Christian's from Delano High School in Maple Plain, Minnesota. Big offensive lineman, 6'4", 305 pounds. Really athletic guy. We saw him running routes as a tight end, playing some defensive line, playing some offensive line. Excited about what Christian brings to the table for us from an athletic side of things as an offensive lineman. Let's go to the state of Wisconsin and talk about some of the guys that we signed from Wisconsin. First kid is Marcus Collins, and Marcus is on campus already. Unique situation for somebody to early enroll after his senior year or halfway through his senior year in high school, but he does a great job. He's already been in the weight room for us for the last month, and Marcus is a really mature young man. It takes one to come and leave your senior year of high school and enter college with it, and he's really fit in really well with our guys with it. He's 6'4". He's 210 pounds from La Follette High School in Madison, Wisconsin with it. He was an all-state defensive player at 6'4", 210. I remember watching him as a free safety. I remember watching him as a receiver. I remember watching him as a tight end. And us just saying, somehow we've got to get this guy into the program. Colin Connor, another offensive lineman, a big offensive lineman from Iowa Grant High School in Mineral Point, Wisconsin. 6'5", 300-pounder. He was another camp guy that came here that did extremely well, was dominant on the boards, a board drill that we do all the time. He was extremely dominant on that. He was a 3-year starter. All-conference player on the offensive line and defensive line. He was the player of the year on the offensive line and defensive line in his conference with it. Nate Jensen from Opaka, Wisconsin. 6'6", 230-pound tight end. Another guy that came to camp with it. He played quarterback a little bit in high school. He played wide receiver. He played safety. He played defensive end. Extremely versatile guy with a tremendous upside and a tremendous athlete. And we look for a lot of great things from Nate. You know, we've had some pretty good luck with Jensen's from Opaka, and Nate, no relation to Brock, is excited to come here and join our program, and we'll start him off at the tight end position with it. Let's check on the Nebraska guys, the kids that we signed with it. First kid is Jalen Allison. I was very fortunate. I was able to work with Jalen on a daily basis when he came to camp, and he's a 6 foot, 170-pound corner from Papillion La Vista High School, and we're going to use him as a corner for us. He reminds me a lot of CJ. Extremely long, athletic guy that really physical at the point of attack. Extremely fast kid. Easton Stick, quarterback from Creighton Prep High School. 6'2", 205-pound quarterback from Omaha. First team All-State as a senior. Came to our camp and lit it up. Did an unbelievable job at our camp. And it was really a no-brainer as our staff in the quarterback position. We always try to take one a year. That was the guy that we had tagged and earmarked as the guy we wanted. And we're extremely excited to have Easton join the program. R.J. Urzendowski, also from Creighton Prep, was a wide receiver, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Camp kid, another guy. I remember watching him, putting the guys against him, putting the guys like Jalen Allison and some of the other kids that came to camp against him. Really smooth wide receiver. Has size at 6 foot, 190. He's able to play the slot. He's able to play outside with it. Has very good speed with it. Was a 3-year starter. Holds the Nebraska career record for receptions and yards receiving. Was also a first-team All-State selection. We got 2 kids out of Missouri. First kid, King Frazier. King is on campus right now. King is from Lee Summit High School, and he's transferred in here from Nebraska. Okay? King is a 6 foot, 220-pound running back, and you know the mold we're looking for at running back with it. We're really excited about what King is bringing to the table. He's already on campus. Another guy that joined Marcus at semester with it. And I recruited King myself out of Lee Summit about 3 years ago, and he ended up choosing Nebraska. And his coach, his high school coach, called me and said that King had expressed some interest in transferring, and we were really excited to have King here join our program with it. Next kid from Missouri is Darius Shepard, from right now the best team in the state of Missouri. Blue Springs High School has won the last 2 upper class state championships. Darius is a 5'11", 185-pound wide receiver, 2-time All-State, back-to-back state championship team. They had 5 kids going to Division I today. They had 5 kids out of that high school going to Division I. And it's interesting, they had one going to Colorado State, a couple going to Kansas State, and Darius is kind of smiling because he's wearing the Bison hat today. And we beat both those schools. So we're excited about Darius coming here. South Dakota, we had one young man signed scholarship, Dan Marlette, 6'2", 195-pound linebacker from Sioux Falls, from Washington High School. He was another guy that came to camp. I was extremely excited about Dan after camp. A very athletic, long kid, 2-time All-State and All-Conference linebacker. This guy does it all. One young man out of Iowa, Lance Dunn, is a 5'9", 200-pound running back from Waterloo West High School. Same high school that Coach Entz, our defensive coordinator, went to. I went to Waterloo Columbus, the rival high school of Lance. But Lance is an extremely fast, powerful running back. He was a second-team All-State selection. We signed one kid out of Illinois, Dakota Reed. Dakota is a defensive back, could play corner, could play safety for us. We're going to start him off at corner. Dakota's from Morgan Park High School. He's 5'9", 175-pounder. He was a 3-year starter. Really physical corner. Reminds me a lot of what you guys saw a couple years ago in Andre Martin with it. A guy that can really do a great job tackling people, great job in coverage, extremely smart young man. One kid from Michigan, Blake Williams. Blake Williams is a defensive tackle from Romeo High School in Washington, Michigan. He's 6'4", 250-pound defensive tackle. I had the pleasure of watching Blake play basketball this year, and very athletic, extremely athletic, great feet, was able to bend. He had a really good game that day, so he's been a All-State player, 3-year starter on the defensive line as well as tight end. One young man from Florida, Isaac Senescar, is a defensive back from Orlando and went to Cypress Creek High School. And Isaac competed just recently in the Orange County All-Star game. Isaac's extremely fast, extremely athletic young man. He was named to the Central Florida Super 60 team. He knows Chris Board that was on our team this year from that area as well. He's lettered 4 times. He's also a member of the track and field team, 3.8 GPA, and wants to get into pre-med, speaks 3 different languages. And he's a very intriguing young man to talk to, and I really enjoyed him when he was up here